The term Epstein Files has become a shorthand for one of the darkest and most unsettling sagas of our time, representing a massive collection of documents tied to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein was a wealthy and well-connected figure who was arrested in 2019 on federal charges for sex trafficking minors. His death by suicide in a federal jail cell before he could stand trial left a void of unanswered questions and a legacy of immense pain for his victims. The files, therefore, are not a single document, but a sprawling archive of secrets, court records, and evidence that many believe holds the key to understanding the full scope of his criminal network and the powerful individuals who were part of his world. These documents are the puzzle pieces of a horrifying picture. They originate from various legal battles, including a 2015 defamation lawsuit filed by victim Virginia Giuffre against Epstein's associate Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as Epstein's own criminal cases. The public's demand for their release stems from a deep-seated desire for justice and transparency. For years, there has been a powerful sense that Epstein's wealth and connections allowed him to operate with impunity, shielding both himself and his associates from the consequences of their alleged actions. Making these files public is seen as a crucial step toward holding powerful people accountable and delivering some measure of closure to the survivors who have bravely come forward. At its core, the fascination with the Epstein Files is about more than just morbid curiosity. It is about the pursuit of truth in a world where it often feels like justice is for sale. The case exposed a rot that reached into the highest echelons of society, from politics and business to royalty and academia. The files represent the potential to unravel this web of influence and complicity. People want to know who knew what, who participated, and who turned a blind eye. This demand for transparency is a direct challenge to the systems that protect the powerful, a collective call to ensure that no one is above the law, regardless of their status or wealth. The importance of these records cannot be overstated. They are a testament to the courage of the victims who refused to be silenced, and the journalists and lawyers who have relentlessly pushed for their disclosure. Each document, whether it's a flight log from Epstein's private jet or a witness testimony, adds another layer to our understanding of how such a sophisticated trafficking operation could thrive for so long. As more of these files are unsealed, they force a difficult but necessary conversation about power, abuse, and the institutions that are meant to protect us, making this one of the most significant and closely watched legal sagas of the 21st century. The Epstein Files are composed of a diverse and chilling assortment of evidence, each category offering a unique window into his operations. Perhaps the most infamous of these are the flight logs from his private jet, cynically nicknamed the Lolita Express. These logs meticulously detail the names of passengers who traveled with Epstein to his various properties, including his private island in the US Virgin Islands. While appearing on a flight log is not proof of wrongdoing, the presence of so many influential figures on these flights has fueled intense speculation and raised serious questions about what they knew of Epstein's activities and the young girls who were frequently aboard the aircraft. Another critical piece of the puzzle is Epstein's so-called Black Book. This is not a single book, but rather a collection of contact lists containing the names, phone numbers, and addresses of thousands of individuals. The list reads like a who's who of global elites, featuring prominent politicians, world leaders, billionaires, and celebrities. Again, inclusion in this book does not equate to guilt. However, it demonstrates the sheer breadth of Epstein's network and his access to the highest corridors of power. It serves as a stark reminder of the social circles he moved in and the influence he wielded, making it a crucial document for investigators trying to map out his network of associates. Beyond these high-profile items, the files contain a mountain of court records. These include depositions, witness testimonies from victims, and legal motions from the various lawsuits involving Epstein and his associates. These documents provide the most direct and often harrowing accounts of the abuse that took place. They contain sworn statements from survivors describing their experiences in graphic detail. Furthermore, evidence lists from FBI raids on Epstein's properties catalog a disturbing collection of items, including massage tables, recording devices, and CDs with labels like Girl Pics Nude, painting a grim picture of the environment he cultivated. It is crucial to remember that many famous individuals, such as former President Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Michael Jackson, have been named in these documents. However, the context is everything. Being mentioned in a flight log, a contact book, or even a victim's deposition does not automatically mean that an individual has committed a crime. The files are a starting point for investigation, not a final verdict. Their value lies in the leads they provide and the questions they force us to ask about the company kept by the world's most powerful people, pushing for a level of scrutiny that has long been overdue. The story of the Epstein Files is not a static one. It continues to evolve with new disclosures that send fresh shockwaves across the globe. In February 2024, a significant batch of documents was declassified and released, reigniting public interest. While much of the information had been previously reported, the official release included new and disturbing details from the evidence seized by the FBI. The list of items found in Epstein's properties read like a predator's toolkit. Dozens of recording devices, a whip, copper handcuffs, and a photo album simply titled Girl and Epstein, further cementing the grim reality of his crimes and raising more questions about who else was involved. The narrative took another dramatic turn in June 2025, when Elon Musk, the owner of the social media platform X, made a bombshell allegation against former President Donald Trump. Amid a public feud, Musk claimed, "Donald Trump is in the Epstein Files. That is the real reason they have not been made public." This unsubstantiated claim immediately went viral, pouring gasoline on an already raging fire of political speculation. While Trump's name had appeared in previously released flight logs for trips taken in the 1990s, Musk's comment implied the existence of more damning information in the yet-to-be-released files, intensifying bipartisan calls for full transparency from the Department of Justice. Despite these developments, a large portion of the Epstein files remain sealed or heavily redacted. The official reason given by law enforcement agencies like the FBI is the critical need to protect the identities and privacy of the victims. Many of the survivors were minors when they were abused, and their testimonies contained deeply personal and traumatic information. Authorities argue that releasing their names without their consent would re-victimize them, and therefore, a careful, methodical approach is necessary. This has created a difficult tension between the public's right to know and the duty to protect the vulnerable, leading to a slow and frustratingly piecemeal release process. This ongoing secrecy, however well-intentioned, has become a breeding ground for conspiracy theories and deepens public distrust. When information is withheld, especially information concerning the rich and powerful, it naturally leads people to believe that there is a cover-up. The slow drip of information, combined with explosive allegations like those from Elon Musk, ensures that the Epstein saga remains firmly in the public consciousness. The world is left to wonder what other secrets are buried in those sealed documents, and when, if ever, the full truth will be brought to light for everyone to see. The continuing saga of the Epstein Files has profound implications that extend far beyond the courtroom, touching upon the very foundations of politics, public trust, and international relations. Politically, the case has become a weapon. In the United States, figures from both sides of the aisle have used the specter of the files to cast suspicion on their rivals, as seen in the recent clash between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. The mere association with Epstein, however tenuous, is now enough to damage a public figure's reputation, creating a volatile political landscape where insinuation can be as powerful as fact, further polarizing an already divided nation. This has led to a catastrophic erosion of public trust in institutions. When people see that justice is delayed or selectively applied, their faith in government, law enforcement, and the legal system withers. The perception that a separate set of rules exists for the wealthy and connected is no longer a fringe theory. For many, it is a proven fact demonstrated by the Epstein case. The secrecy surrounding the remaining files feeds this cynicism, making people question whether powerful entities are working to protect the public or to protect their own. This distrust is corrosive, undermining the social contract that holds democratic societies together. The impact is not confined to one country. It is a global phenomenon. Epstein's network was international, with connections to British royalty, French business moguls, and other prominent figures worldwide. As more information emerges, it has the potential to create diplomatic friction and embarrass governments on the world stage. The connection of Prince Andrew to the case, for example, has already caused a significant scandal for the British monarchy. Future revelations could strain alliances and force difficult conversations between nations about accountability and legal cooperation, proving that the rot exposed by Epstein's crimes knows no borders. Ultimately, the world remains on edge, waiting for the next chapter in this disturbing story. The release of every new document is scrutinized by millions, each hoping for clarity and justice. The case has become a global litmus test for transparency and accountability. Will the full truth be revealed? Will all those who were complicit, regardless of their power or position, be held responsible? The answers to these questions will not only define the legacy of Jeffrey Epstein, but will also shape our collective faith in the systems designed to protect the innocent and punish the guilty. The world is watching, and it will not look away.